This Lorcana Set 7 Archazia Island is finally here. And as a part of this channel's tradition, today we are doing the top 5 cards per ink in this video. Just a friendly reminder before we start, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and bell button. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts, or just leave an emoji, because it helps. Now what are we waiting for? Let's get on with it. Let's go ahead and start with Amber. For the number 5 slot, we have Minnie Mouse, Storyteller. For me, Minnie made it in this list because there's not a lot of Amber upgrades for this set. But this card shows a lot of potential. Maybe right now it can't shine that much, but if steel isn't everywhere, this can easily make it into fast meta decks. Maybe not as a 4-of, but definitely a solid turn 2 play. Number 4, The Prince, Vigilant Suitor. This card is the biggest turn 2 body in terms of willpower. 5 willpower is no joke this early in this game. Add this in an aggro deck and protect your fast small characters. The Prince can also be a menace when it comes to trading if you can find a way to buff it. Cards like Merlin Crab, 2-cost Tramp, and Cricky can turn this card into a monster. Number 3, Troubadour, Musical Narrator. This card is basically Ursula Vanessa. With a +1 resist can make a big difference, especially in the steel meta. Now, I understand it's not as good as Ursula's 4 willpower when it comes to a turn 4 Rapunzel draw, but sometimes stickiness is much better. Number 2, Tramp, Street Smart Dog. This is one of my favorite cards in the game at the moment. This card is a perfect high-end card for Amber Emerald aggro decks. This gives the late game a power play that can possibly close the game for you. Its high willpower is perfect for the meta. Its ability to filter the deck and your hand is amazing as well. You can replace your low-cost characters with better endgame cards for late game. Or find a low-cost card so you can power play with it and just go all in. But the best part is, this card is Chernobog's best friend. And for a number 1 card in this list, Lady, Miss Park Avenue. Everything about this card is what an Amber Emerald aggro deck can ask for. A solid unconditional way of refilling your hand, and the best part is, its body isn't so bad either. Go all in an early game and refill your hand at turn 5. Amber Emerald had Rapunzel as its draw engine on the previous sets. Adding another reliable draw engine that is perfect for this archetype is a big ultra megatonic upgrade. Now for Amethyst, we have Raja, Ghostly Tiger for our number 5 spot. This card is a super solid turn 2 play if only steel decks are not everywhere. At the moment, this card might not shine as much, but definitely has so much potential in the future. 3/3 body in the early game that is inkable is just too solid, but Vanish is weak at the moment due to steel pingers, so maybe someday this will see a lot of play. Number 4, Honey Marin, Northuldra Guide. This might not be the most exciting card, but having an extra goat that can almost guarantee lore in your deck is great. Now its body can quite small, and this isn't a great turn 2 play, especially if you are going first, but it can definitely help you finish the game if your deck is trying to go super fast. Number 3, Restoring the Crown. This is possibly one of the cards that is being slapped on the most. This card is not great by itself, and it's an expensive card to play in general, but it's one of the best finishers in the game. I am very high on this card at the moment for Amethyst Steel mid-range decks. Exerting everything and gaining a bunch of lore just sounds so good to me. I think once more people start playing this card, it will definitely change how people play the game in general. Number 2, The Queen, Jealous Beauty. This card is very tough to add in the number 2 spot. It's a super solid effect if it can survive. The 3 willpower at 4 is what I'm concerned about. Steel can easily deal with this, and when they do, before it gets its effect off, it's gonna feel bad. But it's also one of those cards that is worth the gamble in my opinion. It's definitely a card to look into adding, even just a 1 or 2 ofs in your Amethyst decks. And for a number 1 spot, we have Giant Cobra, Ghostly Serpent. This is a meta changer in my opinion for Amethyst Steel. It's such a great finisher. Having an 8th copy of Merlin Goat is nice, but this card can be better than the Goat in terms of finishing the game. 2-lore gain reach is crazy, as well as leaving a 4/4 body on the board. This is definitely not your turn 3 play against steel decks, but against everything else, this is an easy turn 3 play. Now, for our number 5 spot for Emerald, we have Tramp, Street Smart Dog again. As much as I want to put Hero Hamada in this slot, it just doesn't compare to Tramp's ability at the moment. Hero does have a great ability, but it's just too slow for the current meta. Shifting a turn 5 for an extra 2 lore gain isn't it. If Hero's ability doesn't require a card to be shifted, it would be a whole different story. Number 4, Anastasia, Bossy Stepsister. I am very high on this card. Unfortunately, it came in a steel meta. I am running this in my Ember Emerald deck since it's just an amazing card against anything that isn't steel, and it's an easy ink against it. If you can Ursula on turn 2 as well against steel, this card can still be played on turn 3. It has been amazing during testing for me. 2-for-1 cards like this are super solid. Number 3, Lady Miss Park Avenue. This card is only on the top 3 of the Emerald list. The only reason for this is that it can only fit in one variant of Lemon Lime deck. Other than that, it's still just as strong as the next cards we're about to talk about. Number 2, Baymax, Giant Robot. Universal Shift is possibly my favorite new mechanic. It's just so exciting. It turns all of your cards into Morph. This is also just a super solid card in general. 5/5 quest for 2 is amazing, but the fact that it's 6 costs, this card will be amazing for sync together cards or songs in general. And for the number 1 slot, we have Pete, Space Pirate. This card is the perfect card for Emerald Steel. It curves perfectly with a 3-cost speed that is also an amazing shift target. Its effect is perfect for the meta. Resist, anti-singing, and a 5/5 body that can quest for 2 and basically is able to sing any songs you run for Emerald Steel. Ruby didn't get much of an upgrade this set, except for Ruby Steel cards, and Ruby Steel in general is still very questionable when it comes to how good it is in the meta. So for the number 5 spot, we have Mulan, Imperial General. This card is basically an enabler for Mushu decks in general. It's not the most amazing card, but it's great if you can combo with it with the Mushu. Number 4, Hades, Fast Talker. Again, I just want to emphasize that there's not a lot of great cards in Ruby for this set. This card though can be a nice one-of for Ruby Amethyst, though it might be really hard to replace Madame Medusa and Lady Tremaine in general. But it's something to keep an eye out for if Force Rank becomes relevant for 3-cost or lower cards. Number 3, Ratigan, Nefarious Criminal. I was so excited for this card until I read the ability again. The exert part can be a bit slow in general, though I still think that the card has potential. We'll just have to see for now. I definitely will be cooking for a card like this. Best part of the card is that it's inkable. Number 2, Mushu, Majestic Dragon. Mushu is the perfect upgrade for Ruby Steel other than the draw card, of course. It has a super solid ability and a very fun one. I've been testing these Mushu decks, and it's really good against most decks in the meta, except against the 2 top decks, which is Sapphire Steel and Ruby Sapphire, which is unfortunate. Other than that, the card is super solid and is stable for sure for Ruby Steel decks. And for the number 1 slot, we have Toby, Dog Companion. Toby is super solid and can be added in most Ruby decks. The 3-strength quest for 1 for a 1-cost card is super nice. It is, however, a pretty weak card against the Steel meta, so running 1 or 2 of these might be good enough for now. Now let's talk about Sapphire, the color with the best upgrades for set 7. We're starting it off with Baymax, Giant Robot. I know, this is number 2 for Emerald, but this is only number 5 for the Sapphire top 5 because there's many other powerful cards in this list in general. Speaking of powerful, for the number 4 spot, we have Sapphire Coil. While this can be a very scary card for Ruby Sapphire, there are still some downsides for it. The cost doesn't fit perfectly for the deck, but definitely still strong for Sisu on ice decks. The card can also get weaker later in the game, since this card requires you to keep inking, but setting up a couple of these on the board can be so deadly. Number 3, Scrooge McDuck, Resourceful Misser. This is a really powerful card in the right deck. The only downside of it is it's only good in an item deck. but playing a 4/4 body that can potentially pay for itself for free is really good. Singing and then along came Zeus, and how far I'll go with it is also nice. And it's inkable. Speaking of inkable, I don't understand why this card is inkable. For number 2 slot, we have Tamatoa, Happy as a Clam. This card is guaranteed +2 in most scenarios. It pays for itself, it gets an extra +1 for resources, and your opponent still needs to spend a card to remove it. If it survives, it just gets so much value. This card is busted in my opinion, and it's inkable. And for the number 1 spot, we have Bell, the Dream Killer. I meant Apprentice Inventor. This card takes the number 1 spot because it's a meta changer card, and not just an upgrade. This card fully eliminates one of Sapphire Steel's biggest weaknesses, the early game. This makes this deck stronger than Steel Song's early game lines. A 3/3 body that is 3 cost in turn 1 is just too strong. It shuts down many things that we are now all forced to build our decks around this card or lose right away. Lastly, we have Steel. For the number 5 spot, we have Mulan, Disguised Soldier. Mulan is an amazing filter card in general. For me, the 2 strength difference from Simba is a big plus. It can remove a lot of threats at the start of the game. Filter for me is an amazing ability in the right player's hands. It can be very deadly. Number 4, Pete, Space Pirate. While I do think that this card is amazing, it can only be added to Emerald Steel. But in that deck, this card is ultra megatonic. Number 3, Giant Cobra, Ghostly Serpent. The same reason applies to the Giant Cobra. This card is ultra megatonic, but it can only be added to Amethyst Steel, compared to the next 2 cards in the list. Number 2, Gantu, Experience Enforcer. This card is an amazing addition to the card pool. It's a nice counter to the current meta decks in general. The downside of it is that it's an inkable. That part is what's preventing me from running 4 of these in most Steel decks. For me though, most of my Steel decks have at least 1 or 2 copies of this. It's a perfect answer for the meta. Last but not the least, we have Bagheera, Guardian Jaguar. This is my favorite Steel card that was released on the set. Grab your swords on a stick just sounds so solid to me. Get ahead on turn 1 to 4 and checkmate on turn 5 with this card. Most of my Steel decks are currently running this, and it's been working great for me. The fact that it's sinkable as well is such a big bonus for a great card like this.